the last series of videos, we went through Bhagavad Gita from chapter 1 to chapter 18 by each verse. I attempted my best to provide some interpretation of the verses for my own benefit, as well as to give it a modern context. I want to now do about 18 videos where I take through each chapter instead of verse by verse. So sort of a chapter summary of the Bhagavad Gita. So the scene is set. We start today, chapter 1. This is where all the warriors, Kauravas and the Pandavas, have assembled in front of each other. Huge armies on either side. Soldiers extend as far as the eyes can see. They are there in this battlefield. Krishna is taking Arjuna. Krishna is the charioteer for Arjuna. In his chariot, the whole army is moving towards the other opposing army, the Kauravas. They've stopped for the formalities to begin. In the meanwhile, Dhritarashtra is unable to come to the battlefield because he is, as we know, is the blind king. However, he has Sanjaya with him. Sanjaya has a special ability. He is able to tune into someone's mind, whoever he chooses, and see and sense what they are sensing. Clairvoyance, perhaps, in the modern terminology. Because Dhritarashtra is unable to come to the battlefield, the Kurukshetra, he pleads Sanjaya to tell him exactly what is going on in the battlefield. So Sanjaya decides the best way to do that is through the eyes of Arjuna. So he tunes his mind to Arjuna's presence, his conscience. So as he does that, the Dhritarashtra asks, what is happening in the battlefield? Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra, he begins. Kima kurvata Sanjaya? What are they doing? What is Arjuna doing now? What are my sons doing? Right from the beginning, Bhagavad Gita starts this symbolism, blind attachment to the unreal, symbolized and underscored by Dhritarashtra. And so Sanjay now immediately he starts seeing. He sees the whole thing through Arjuna. At the battlefield, before the actions begin, the intentions are already clear because everyone has their own conch or the drums and they start blaring them. Krishna starts with Panchajanya, Arjuna follows it with his Devadatta, and then Bhima with his Paundra, which is described as a 5 feet long conch. It's as tall as I am, and it's being blown only perhaps by Bhima. Needs a huge lung if you want to blow through that bigger conch to make it sound. The drums are blaring. Complete descriptions of each drum is given in the Bhagavad Gita. And each one of those conches. So, Arjuna himself has expressed his willingness at that moment to start because he is going through the formalities, blowing the conches. The vibrations are necessary perhaps to create that adrenaline in every warrior's system, because that is essential. Forget this whole thing. Now, though, there is only one goal in mind: vanquish the enemy. In order for that to settle in, these huge instruments are making incredible vibrations in the battlefield. So the intentions are clear. We are going to fight. That is when Arjuna has a little bit of an issue with clarity. Partial clarity is not enough. You need complete clarity in your mind for the conflict. So he requests Krishna, can you take me closer? And I want to see who have gathered in front of me. He can guess, but he still wants to see. He knows. So he's asking Krishna to move forward. Krishna obliges. So there are two armies standing facing each other. The actions have not begun. Arjuna's mind, which is in Maya, of course the whole thing is Maya, he's asking Krishna to move forward alone, his chariot alone. So he leaves his warriors behind, his allies behind, and he just moves forward in his chariot. Krishna takes him a little bit further so he can see who has gathered to fight him. When there is some clarity, as he sees who is in front of him, the attachment creeps in. Duty becomes suffering when attachment overwhelms you. Na Conche Vijayam Krishna, na cha Rajyam Sukhanicha. He says, I do not want this victory or anything in this battle or anything. I don't want this Rajyam. I don't want this kingdom or the pleasures that come with it. If that takes killing my uncle, my teacher, my grandfather, my cousins. He may be angry with them, but he does not want to kill them. So we are going to find out that once you have committed yourself to battle, that's your duty. You are supposed to be a warrior and fight. He's unable to do that. What's the cause of it? Attachment. So we are beginning the reasons for which Bhagavad Gita came about. So he is conflicted. His mind is confused. When the brain is unsteady, there are physical manifestations of that. You start trembling. If you are a sports person, you know. If you're holding a tennis racket or a cricket bat or a cricket ball, irrespective of what role you're playing at that time, if the mind tells you, I'm nervous, I don't know what to do, he's going to hit me for a six, or when you're holding the bat, you feel like, oh, I think he's going to give me a yorker. What do I do now? Or when you're holding a tennis racket, you say, where is he going to hit it? When you have that conflict in your mind, and if it is overwhelming, hand shakes. You're not able to hold that racket as steady as you are supposed to. Physical manifestation, or the legs shake. You may be holding it tight, but your legs are shaking a little bit. And that's what's happening to Arjuna now. He says to Krishna, I don't know what I'm doing here. Arjuna says, my hands are trembling, my mouth is dry, my body is weak, and all sorts of complaints. Krishna looks at him and he says, we suffer because we confuse what we are with what we experience. You're thinking about you, your body, your uncle, your all that kind of thing. And that's what makes you suffer. You have to detach yourself from it. But around this time, as he is saying, Krishna decides, this is going to take a long time to convince this guy. Because Krishna knows all. So he is worried. This is going to take a long time. That there is a lot of conflict. We can't keep arguing. There is a battlefield here. These guys are all waiting to fight. All these vibrations created by the conches and the drums have created this adrenaline and this mood that is making these warriors impatient with rage, and they are waiting on both sides to get at each other. And here is the main warrior, or the hero, on whom the whole victory depends on, is giving up. And convincing him to get back on the chariot and go fight is not going to be easy. Krishna knows. So what he does, he puts him in a state of mind which is described as turiyatita, a trance kind of a mind, where essentially time stops. In other words, the whole Bhagavad Gita that is going to follow from here on, the whole discourse between Krishna and Arjuna, takes place in a fraction of a second, completely through telepathy. So the mind to mind exchange. Remember, we are going to see the Vishwarupam. Only Arjuna gets to see it. Of course, because Sanjay is tuned to Arjuna's psyche, he also can see it, and he is the one who gives us a sort of a version of what it was. Nobody knows. Only Arjuna saw. How could that be? If the Vishwarupam happened in the battlefield, everyone would have seen it. That's not what happens, right? The two of them are now connected through this trance. And Krishna continues. That's your problem. You're thinking about you, yourself, and that's leading to the suffering. But Arjuna comes back, and that's when you can see wisdom comes when we admit that we don't know. When I say I don't know, and I ask my guru to explain, that's the first seed of wisdom. I know everything. I don't need anything. That will never reach us to wisdom. Arjuna now has made that first step towards wisdom. He says to Krishna, look, Krishna, I need to know, you explain to me. Or you are the person who knows everything. I don't know why I'm here. I'm not sure why I'm fighting my own relatives. This all looks unreal to me. What is this all about? Why do I have to do this? I want to go back. I want to spend some time with Abhimanyu. No, he doesn't say that. It's my imagination. But those kinds of thoughts are going on in his mind. So he forgets all this attachment. He forgets his duty, and he's suffering from this confusion. But he at least has the right sense to ask, why? What should I do? I don't know. That's the gist of chapter 1 and chapter 2 verses 1 to 10. Beyond that is where the Bhagavad Gita really begins. We will see chapter 2, rest of chapter 2 in the next session.